Welcome back to Jay's Outdoor Magazine. This week, we're in South Africa hunting plains game with Garrett Nievold of Constantia Safaris. Chad Stearns of Jay's has been here before.
Even this week, we talk about the details, just a little bit extra. It's, the meals are just a little bit better, and the way they decorate the tables and the way they take care of your room, and every little detail is catered to. And they literally, sign on the way into the ranch says, "You're at Constantia, it's time to relax."
Until now, Garrett's primarily hunted with gun hunters. Well, he wants to get into the bow hunting business. It's the first step right here. He's putting up a series of these blinds, or hides as they call them here, all across his property. And we're gonna give it the inaugural test this morning. Some people think you need to shoot a high poundage bow in Africa, and while that might be the case for Big 5, it's certainly not true for plains game. On this trip, I was using my Diamond Marquee. This is a wonderful bow, a very smooth shooter, but I had it set at just 58 pounds. It still did a great job. When you're shooting lower poundage though, some things you want to keep in mind. Number one, of course, shot placement. Shot placement is everything, but you want to maximize your performance as well. I'm using these Easton infused carbon arrows. They're a little bit smaller diameter than some of the other shafts, and I think that helps give me better penetration. Also, you want to be sure you've got a good broadhead. Sharp broadhead, a strong broadhead. I'm using the G5 Strikers, a fixed blade, replaceable blade broadhead, and these things really did the job. I was willing to take just about any respectable animal that gave me a shot on camera, but near the top of my list was a Gemsbok. Their beautiful coloring and those tall, majestic horns, make them a real trophy in my book. And after just a couple of hours in the blind that first morning, I got my chance at one. Well, I don't know what to say. I missed that guy, female actually. An animal that size, 32 yards away, and I shoot underneath her. How do you miss a target that big? I was trying to tuck it, right in close to the shoulder, right down low. I should have just aimed higher. How do you miss a target that big? It's a long ways to fly to miss an animal, isn't it? Hey, if you haven't missed, you haven't hunted very long. Still, it's not a good feeling, and I was hoping to get a chance to redeem myself. It's my second morning here in the blind in South Africa hunting with Constantia Safaris and Garrett Nievold. No reason to believe we won't see plenty of animals, plenty of action here today. The wind hasn't picked up yet. It probably will. But at least it's blowing from the area the animals are coming into us. So that shouldn't be a factor, should be a good day. I got to watch lots of animals that morning. Wildebeest, hartebeest, impalas, springbuck, but no Gemsbok. And I was getting a little frustrated. Then they started coming in.
just shot my Gemsbok. Oryx, if you want. Not the biggest Gemsbok out there, but certainly very respectable. And she gave us a shot. I didn't want to do like yesterday and wait for the very big one, have him hang out there 30 yards and get a bad shot. This one was very close, right in front, and she gave us a good shot. Hit her just a little bit high, but she's hit good. She's bleeding hard. She ran off into the bush. I'm real confident we're gonna get her. Yeah.
Yeah, we find the blood, we find the track. But yeah, it's just gonna be a matter of time.
All right, let's go get her. African animals are unbelievably tough. We looked for that Gemsbok for several hours until it got dark, and then we came back the next morning. My shot wasn't nearly as good as I thought yesterday. Looking at it on tape, it was too high, too far back. A shot that certainly would take a whitetail down, but these African animals are so tough. We've tracked this thing all yesterday afternoon, starting out again this morning. Probably, I don't know, how do you know? Maybe almost a mile at this point. Getting good blood, good sign, but it got dark on us last night. I can tell you this, if she can be found, these guys can find her. You hear a lot about the skills of African trackers, but until you see them in action, you really can't appreciate it. They don't just follow blood. They get on the track of an individual animal. Well, thank God for Quiss and Vicar. They got on the track of my Gemsbok, and even though there was no blood at all, they found her. She got eaten up pretty good by jackals over the night, so that's a shame, but the good news is we found her. Not the biggest Gemsbok here, but in my eyes, in my mind, with the bow, a trophy.
Jay's Outdoor Magazine with Mike Avery is brought to you in part by Browning.